People may not know I was a philosophy major as an undergraduate. How did I end up here? But I think that one of the big things about science is you can't just be so anxious for those answers. You've got to really, I think, appreciate what are the right questions. What are the questions we can ask? What are the questions we can answer? But I will start right up front here with California's legislature on Monday, 8/29, August 29th, approved a bill that would allow regulators to punish doctors for spreading false information about COVID-19 vaccinations and treatments. Imagine that. It's actually going to be an issue if physicians want to say untrue things that, put money in their pocket or give them political gain. So the law would designate spreading false or misleading medical information to patients as unprofessional conduct subject to punishment by the agency that licenses doctors, the Medical Board of California. That would include suspending or revoking a doctor's license to practice medicine in the state. So sort of shocking to me that this isn't already a thing, that this isn't a thing in every state. Apparently, it's okay to spread misinformation. It's okay to lie to people as a physician and just keep going ahead and yeah.
I guess we're going to have some kind of a process for saying, okay, doc, you said this vaccine doesn't work when it really does, and we have 10 people who heard you, and so you're going to be punished, something like that, right?
Yeah, it's not going to be like one guy willy-nilly going out. It's a board, so the Medical Board of California will actually do their due diligence. They'll do their investigation. But as we know, there are a number of prominent MDs, a number of prominent DOs, a number of individuals out there who went to medical school who refer to themselves and make other people refer to them as doctor, but yet they have no problem with saying things that are just not true.
I'm glad to hear that. I think it's great.
And I think we referred, right, Vincent, a couple episodes back, some gentleman, they even found like he knew he was lying to people, but he knew it was making him a lot of money. And he did it anyway.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I don't understand why more physicians don't listen to you, Daniel. And all they have to do is listen to this relatively brief update every week, right?
My colleagues here at Optum Tri-State, they listen.
Well, that's good. Good for them.
If we don't test, and a lot of people are not testing. So you got to start testing. This is not an obvious thing. You should be doing a lot of you should be doing a lot of tests that come back negative to be testing enough here. We're not doing enough testing.
Daniel, if someone wants to, can they test someone who doesn't have any lesions, or do you need a lesion to be tested?
All right. So that's exactly the point, Vincent, is you need something to swab. We don't know. Could you just test people's saliva? Could you just screen people? And we've talked a little bit about that. At this point, most of our testing is doing the lesions, and we talked about a study before that. That's really sort of where the gold is. That's where you have your highest sensitivity. Sometimes we are seeing positivity in saliva samples, and this case, which is really interesting. So this woman had lesions, but she didn't recall her boyfriend, a cheating louse, having any kind of lesion. So she was not aware. And some of these rashes, they really look like, it might come in and say, I'm getting adult onset acne. So it's not always clear that you can just look at someone and know that you don't have to worry. And I particularly worry about school opening, right? Because a lot of teenage lads are going through that period of life, and lasses who have actually acne. And so to make that distinction is going to be a challenge.
I think it would be worth to do a study where you do mucosal swabs of random people and just see, oral, even anal mucosal swabs, because some of those have turned up positive, and see, in the general population, how much virus do you pick up in the absence of lesions.
I'm thinking with schools and things, right? Like, the wrestling team, other sports where there's a lot of physical contact. Is there a way that, one, we've got to do a better job of making this diagnosis because it's already outside of this target population that everyone talks about all the time. And if we don't do a better job and don't come up with better ways of picking this up, we're just going to start seeing it spread in the schools and other populations.
This week, I got my first dose of Shingrix, actually last Friday, and really minimal side effects, just a sore arm. So any of you who are scared of it, just do it. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
That's TWIV, Weekly Clinical Update with Dr. Daniel Griffin. Thank you, Daniel.
Oh, thank you so much. And everyone, be safe.